This video is sponsored by my OnlyFans, where I do my meaningful sex educational content, fitness, health, nutrition, relationship advice, and more. And hi guys, and welcome to the Empress Show with me, Geri, and I have come back. I had to be away for a bit because I'm still fighting cold, and I basically couldn't do anything at night. I was just coughing, so yeah, unfortunately that happens. Okay guys, so we have a lot of things in general in the world of 40k, and I have to catch up with everything. So first of all, something that I found very fascinating is this new theory slash news that maybe, just maybe, the Emperor of Mankind of 40k is healing. And we are going to check this video by Chapter Master Valrak, and of course link down below into the description so you can watch it, all those things, and give him a view, although he has a ton. But this is how it is done. So let's see this, and I'm going to comment on what he's saying, what I think about it, and then we're going to actually see what AI says about that when I typed basically, is there any merit to this? So let's watch him, and then we're going to discuss. Oh yeah, I'm going to put another one of these right here. Right here? What is that? An Indian accent? I don't know, guys. Just how I said it. Okay, let's see.
Is the Emperor actually healing? The other day, the 10th edition core rulebook was leaked online, and there was an image in there that appears to show the Emperor regaining flesh on his face, and a lot of people have assumed that this is indeed the Emperor returning. It's going to be a big law point going forward, probably not in 10th edition, 11th, 12th, etc., etc., etc. Even Mr. Blanche himself, the person who created this artwork, has commented on this. And we're going to explore this in the video. We're going to talk it from both sides, look at the artworks, and just waffle about it. So let's jump in and
A little
let's
echo.
get started. Now, the images that are causing so much conversation
Let me know how
are
it
some
is
of the
now.
most iconic Warhammer 40,000 images you'll ever see by, well, for me anyway, the most iconic Warhammer 40,000 artist, Mr. John Blanche himself. Now, I'm going to put the first one up in the background, and it's the Emperor who's interred upon the golden throne. You can see his skeletal face because he's trapped between life and death. You can see the pipes, you can see his little red eye and stuff. This is taken straight from the 8th edition core rulebook, but it's an iconic piece. This goes all the way back to the very beginnings of Warhammer 40,000.
And this this is used in TTS, so that is where I know it from, because I don't play the tabletop and I don't buy the rule books. I didn't know that. So there we go. Okay, continuing.
That's why it's such an iconic piece, because John Blanche was one of the main artists back then, and he was creating these masterpieces for the 40k IP. Now, what's happened over the past 24 hours is that the core rulebook for 10th edition has been leaked online. It's over on Warhammer Competitive. You can go and see the thread yourself. People are talking rules and all the other mad stuff that connected with it. But one of the main things that's in that is this Emperor's image, but it's different to the skull one. I'm going to put it up in the background right now so you can see it. And you can see that the skull has gone from a skull to an actual face. And a lot of people have been theorizing, well, this must mean the Emperor is slowly returning. The new forces in the galaxy, the Primarch's coming back. Maybe there's something to do with that. But look, the Emperor is growing his face back, which means he must be healing on the golden throne.
It's just so funny, growing his face back. Can you grow your face back? Probably not in the same way. But yeah, this is I wouldn't say it's an actual face. It's still like a mummy at best, but it is a significant difference. So there's that.
Which means that one day he'll be fully healed, he can come back, he can lead the Imperium, bring all the Primarchs back, launch more crusades, and win this war against chaos. Now, as much as I would love that to be a thing, and we will talk about the Emperor healing in the latter part of the video, these two artworks are the same. They were both made by John Blanche a long time ago, and it's literally just different versions of this. That's not to say the Emperor's actually healing. Now, if you look at the 9th edition rulebook, I put the video up in the background. My mate Jeff, thanks Jeff for sending me this. That literally is the same artwork that people are discussing in 10th edition, saying the Emperor's slowly healing. Now, potentially, the Emperor could be healing. Maybe Games Workshop are making a point putting the skeleton Emperor on the throne to this newly fleshed Emperor, even though they're the same artwork, they were done at the same time, right? But adding this one instead of the bony one going forward to make topics like this, to inspire discussions between the fans. Like,
I actually agree. Even though this was created at the same time, now is the time that maybe, just maybe, Games Workshop wants to really push this forward as a storyline officially, going forward into the lore and how things will go. So I think it has some merit and could be a hint at the very least. Yeah, I would say that it's a logical progression. When we take everything that we know from the latest books, I think that this is not crazy to assume. Continue.
why has Games Workshop changed him from a bag of bones to, like a bag of flesh? It could be down to artist interpretation, right? It just could be for the rule of bloody cool, as most Warhammer 40,000 things are. Now, we even have Mr. Blanche himself stepping in and talking about this. This was found by a Discord member, Halo Zoro, massive shout out to him. This was posted over on a Facebook group, and Mr. Blanche says, I added colour and worked on the face more. These were the days before IP, so art was in an interpretation and not an exact science. However, how do you know it's the Emperor and not an illusion? Perhaps the whole piece is just a pictorial metaphor. The real Emperor is a shattered body kept in some sort of stasis in a tank of fluids, served by the Mechanicus scientists. Basically, Imperial propaganda that the Emperor is sat here in defiance, connected to all these pipes, and, he's leading the Imperium. It wouldn't, that is the most Imperium thing to do, to have this type of propaganda. And as Mr. Blanche says, he's just like a tub of fluid swimming around like jello, like in a fridge, right, ready to be hardened in there. So yeah, it's all up to interpretation. Do you think the Emperor's healing? Do I think the Emperor's healing? What I personally think, with what's going on for...
Okay, let's say something before we continue. I mean, of course, the artist is trying to be funny here. He is asking actually a very legit question. So that also could be a possibility. I'm not ruling this out. But, I'm just kind of feeling that's more likely for him to be healing. I would just, I would say it. I would think that GW are kind of lazy, honestly, if they are willing to prolong for I don't know how many years for the Emperor to be this piece of hardly a meat on the throne. I think that they will try to at least initiate a process of healing, so there's a prospect for him coming back into his own body. That's gonna be like the most logical to me and most suitable solution and continuation of the story. I don't like him to get himself together from pieces, or the star child to be born. This is the Emperor. He can freaking regenerate flesh. He has proven this with Guilliman, and very recently. And we do know that he has a plan, because he is trying to direct Guilliman to do that plan. Although Guilliman doesn't really know what what is expected of him. He just goes by intuition, and what he sees that is happening, he reacts to that, and he acts upon a certain situation that arises. He met with that priest in the previous few books, and it was interesting. And this priest also gave us a lot of info and insight on maybe, just maybe, how things could be with the Emperor. And of course, we saw this whole scene, this whole absolutely amazing scene where Guilliman and Mortarion fought, and unfortunately Mortarion was able to hit Guilliman with the god blight, and Guilliman was dying. He was decaying uh, pretty much in front of his eyes. And then the Emperor came to save his son, and it was absolutely amazing what Guilliman saw, heard, all of that. So I just think that it's a lot more logical that the Emperor is returning, and thus he will return in his own body and recover his own body and not just spawn himself somewhere else. It's just how I feel about it. What's that?
Forward now in the 40k lore, there's a lot of shadow stuff at play. I truly believe the Emperor wants to die. I think the Emperor's building up his power to get to a certain point where he can face the Chaos Gods in the warp. This is why we've had certain stories involving Cypher and other big characters about the Emperor talking to these beings when they're about to do a certain act. I'm not going to talk what that act is in this because that would ruin the full plot point of that book, but there's definitely something happening with the Emperor going forward in the narrative, fighting the Chaos Gods. It's all about faith, it's all about power, it's all in the shadows, let's say, but there's
I don't think that he wants to die. I just don't think that. I mean, he can do whatever he can do in the warp right now, so why would he want to lose his physical body, which is the connection to the physical world? And we do know very well that the Chaos Gods want as much as possible to affect the physical world directly. If they could have bodies acting, just entering our dimension of existence in that direct and physical manner, they would have done it. I mean, demons can do it. But the point is that why would the Emperor want to sever this? I just don't get it. He can be effective in both places. He always have been. So yeah.
some absolutely huge things I think Games Workshop has planned. Not to mention this whole this whole other story with Pandemonium, Denabnet, the King in Yellow, Annuncia, Words of Power. There's so much bloody stuff that is happening, and I think we've only seen the tip of this Imperial iceberg. One more thing before I leave the video and let you chaps decide what the hell is going on. If the Emperor did come back in the current setting, I see that as the end of Warhammer 40,000. The Emperor is this being of power unimaginable. He will defeat every single thing in this universe. I'm sure there's some Xenos players out there who will disagree, you know, Orc, Tyranid, Necron players. The Silent King would be the Emperor. For me, the Emperor is the end game. Having him back is like a complete different game, different setting. Maybe they will one day blow up the universe just like they did with Warhammer Fantasy and call it, you know, Age of the Emperor or something stupid, something insane like that. But
Well, actually, I would like that. I mean, there has to be progression. We cannot sit in 40k forever. So, if the coming of the Emperor changed that, and we all of a sudden we are in the 50k, I wouldn't be opposed to this. I wouldn't. I think it's a great idea. Bigalomeo, hi to you. Hi to you.
until then, for me, I think the Emperor is got to take his place on the Golden Throne. Yeah, maybe he's healing a little bit, but it's going to take tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of years to see any type of movement from the Emperor going forward. I think the story I'm going with is that he wants to be put into the warp and consume the warp with the power of the faith. That's the way I'm looking at going forward. Anyway, enough waffling from me. Thank you for coming.
Okay, to consume the warp. I don't get that. Why would he want to consume? Okay, obviously, maybe because of gaining additional power, but it definitely wouldn't occur to me that he would want to consume the warp. Maybe I missed something, guys. I'm not sure because I cannot read the codex. I mean, that separate lion book that is not the Lion Sons of the Forest, but is the previous one. That one never actually came out in audio form, I don't think. So if there's something there that I don't know about, okay. But as of now, I just can't grasp this concept. If he eats the warp, then what? Then what really? Then maybe the Tyranids are going to be left to deal with, but we do have to have a continuation, something for the Emperor to fight. So unless they come up with another threat, we gotta end the story somewhere. Which GW wouldn't want to do. I just love how the world of 40k is just a continuation, it's never a reboot. So they have to do this. They do not need to reboot anything. That would be disastrous. Just continue, bring back the Emperor, and then think about things that can challenge him. He has to do a lot to fix the universe as well, to fix the humanity structure of everything. So there's that. Yeah. Assume the warp, like repurposed into a webway. I don't know. Okay, guys, it's really hard to speak still in this state that I am in, but let's try to see what AI says. So when I asked the new AI, and that's the Bing AI, by the way, is there any indication that the Emperor from Warhammer 40k is healing? And the AI says, that's an interesting question. According to some sources, there are different theories about the possibility of healing or resurrecting the Emperor of Mankind from Warhammer 40k. Here are some of them. One theory is that the Emperor is perpetually regenerating his wounds, but the Golden Throne is preventing him from fully healing by draining his life force. That is interesting because I was going to say, hey, the Emperor is so powerful, he can regenerate flesh so easily like that because he did it with Guilliman. Why is he not doing this to himself? So maybe if it's the throne that is stopping him, that then makes a lot more sense. This theory suggests that if we remove the Emperor from his throne, he would be able to regenerate normally. This is an idealistic but unlikely theory. I don't know why it's unlikely, but ultimately untestable because no one is willing to possibly destroy the Emperor. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it is untestable actually. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Sorry guys, that is how it's going to be for probably the next few videos or streams. Until I can fully heal myself. Jesus, almost dropped the bottle. Okay. Another theory is that the Emperor is, in fact, fully dead. Well, I never heard of that. And his corpse is only a conduit. I don't know, a conduit for his psychic presence in the warp. This theory implies that the Emperor cannot be healed or resurrected, but he might be able to reincarnate as a new being if his soul leaves his body and merges with the warp. This is a heretical but plausible theory. Some believe that this is the only way to save humanity from chaos. Let me get this straight. Cannot be healed or resurrected. I think that he can. I just don't see why that he couldn't, once again, unless it's the Golden Throne that's stopping this. If he wanted to be killed, why didn't he say this to Guilliman? He can say, kill me, I have to leave the Golden Throne, kill me. He didn't say anything like that. So either GW have not decided yet, or he doesn't want to be dead. He still wants to be on the Golden Throne. And third theory is that the Emperor is slowly healing himself over time, and he might be able to communicate with some of his loyal followers. This theory is based on some evidence that the Emperor has spoken to his primer Guilliman being behind closed doors, and that he might have a plan for the future of mankind. Well, we actually know that this is true. He does communicate to some of his followers, to Guilliman as well. Not only this conversation that initially they had when Guilliman returned himself from the dead, so to speak. This is hopeful but uncertain theory. No one knows what the Emperor's intentions are or when he will return. Yeah, that is also true. Sorry, guys. There are also other speculations and variations, but they are mostly based on personal opinions and unreliable sources. As you can see, there is no definitive answer to your question. Thanks, AI. Thanks. Okay, so that's good. I encourage you to try this new Bing AI. It's fun. It's fun to, see what it can extract. But I gotta test it more and see if it provides an accurate information, because there's a lot of times when I tried ChatGPT, wanted, for me to help me a bit with some research, but actually it gave me wrong information. So when I saw that it's wrong, because I know some of these facts, I'm like, you're wasting my time here. I mean, it's supposed to save me time, not waste my time. Anyways, so that's gonna be it for this stream, guys. Check, of course, Chapter Master Valrak. Most of you already have, but, of course, just saying. And if I can come back, I will. Probably actually not tonight because it's really too late. But me and Logan want to do a very interesting video about the casting of Astrid, the character from How to Train Your Dragon, and John Campia, if you know who that is, what he said. And there's a lot of other things there that should be said about this whole topic about race swapping and casting. We gotta talk about it, so expect that hopefully soon or tomorrow. I hope. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like to support me, you know where. OnlyFans, where I do all of my meaningful sex educational content, fitness, health, nutrition, relationship advice, life coaching, personalized ASMR, and more. And I'm going to get to the Warhammer Custodes painting as soon as I can. So, love you guys. Love you. Bye bye.